Calling up the plug, trying to give him that.
Everybody,
He gonna quarterback, I'm a running back.
Welcome to the new season of our new show on Independent Road to Success Podcast Network, Entrepreneur Talk, where we talk to different business owners, self-made business entrepreneurs. We talk about their grind and to becoming successful and their journey on there. Today we have an author, someone who's very influential in the Sacramento area. He's actually dropping his first book. The book, we need to make sure before we even get started, I need everybody to go to Amazon. Please purchase that book. Make sure y'all order it. And we're going to talk about this book, They're Gonna Hate. And we're going to find out the details about the book and what inspired him about the book. Before we get started, this episode is brought to you by Rec Tips. You guys want to smoke good with a smooth inhale, make sure y'all go to rectips.com. Make sure y'all snatch one of those Rec Tips. Second sponsor is Liquor Locker in Roseville, California. 150 Diamond Way, I believe. Yes, in Roseville. Make sure y'all stop by there and let them know Entrepreneur Talk sent you. You purchase a fifth of Hennessy, send us the receipt. We will send you a cash app. Again, man, today we got a very special guest. Like I said, new author, someone that we're trying to get on the New York's best sellers, someone who's very influential to me, the city of Sacramento. And also he deals with youth sports. We're going to talk about that. But I'll need everybody to welcome Clifford, a.k.a. Bliff the Gift. Man, let's talk about this new book you got, big bro.
It's federal, you know it, but it's my life story from preschool on up.
From preschool on up. So let's talk about what made you get into this book and what was the inspiration behind the book.
So when maybe get the book, really my mom. She told me when I was in the federal penitentiary to write a book, you know, because my history, my stories, and what I've been through, ups and downs, you know, roller coaster rides and all this shit.
That was smart, and moms always know. So let's kind of elaborate. You said federal penitentiary, if you don't mind. For those the viewers, this is a great thing because again, you guys can see that it doesn't matter how you start, it's how you finish.
Right.
He took something that was in some people's eyes a bad thing and now turned it into a good thing. So let's elaborate on the federal penitentiary part and the mindset of you being able to actually get this book done, knowing that you're in a federal penitentiary and the things that goes behind there.
Shit, it kept me busy. I used to work on it for an hour a day for like 9 months.
Okay.
I wrote two of them, part 1 and part 2. Part 2 ain't out yet.
Okay.
Part 2 is more about prison and what we go through in prison and how motherfuckers on the streets do you when you're in prison.
Okay. So let's talk about part 1. Give me an introduction of the book. Let's start about that. I don't want to give too much details because I want people to actually go get the book. But let's talk about the beginning, the middle, and the end of the book, and just give us slight details about it. Because again, this is something I want everybody to purchase because you do so much for the community, and I know this is going back to the community. So again, let's kind of elaborate on that.
You know, I got off the porch at 12 years old, man. You know, I was the only one driving the football practice at 12. You know what I'm saying? So I was already tapped in with the streets. Okay. You know, I was tapped in, like, you know, born and raised in Oak Park. And then I started drifting off. You know what I'm saying? With schools out here, preschool, first, second grade, with Kit Carson, Sac High, Map Conception, down with the G Parkway School, and just kept moving around. But you know, my name was already ringing from my football days and who my family was and all that type of stuff. Who I grew up with, you know, I was in there. I was in it. Like I said, I got older sisters and a whole bunch of girl cousins. They messed with all the ballers and all the certain people and stuff. That's how, you know, it is what it is. I'm a cousin Veronica and Benny. That's how I got my first car from. He taught me how to hustle real tough at 12. You know, I had a curl at 12, wearing Dickies and Cortezes and shit. I was only 6th grader at ECI school.
So at the age of 12, let me ask you something. Was this by choice or was this something that you had to do because of the struggles and things? Or did you come from a background that had the mother and father, or the mother that you didn't want for nothing, but you just wanted to experience that?
No, both sides of the family was on point. Both sides. It was me being a follower and trying to be like other people and growing up fast. So like I said, I was in the clubs at 16, 15, Rancho Royal. I had my first kids at 16. But, you know, that's really what it was.
So you being able to take those lessons that you learned from adolescent at those early ages is a big part of this book also. But the experience of you going through these things, you said something that was very key of you driving to school and things like that. So you being probably the only one within your class or your age bracket.
Oh yeah, you said I forgot. No, the only reason I had to go to the continuation school in 6th grade. I was only 6th grade. I got kicked out of Elk Grove and Saks Unified School District.
Oh, okay. And so once again, those experiences is what led you to be able to get big inspiration on this book also.
Yeah.
Let's talk about middle, let's say about the age of 16 to 17. Give me a part of your life where you were at. That's a part of the book.
That's when I was in the blocks grinding hard. Had cougars and all type of shit at 16. And my baby mom Ebony, we used to be on the blocks. She was 9 months pregnant out there getting it. We used to, on bikes and everything. And really, really grinding hard. That's why I had my first 2 kids by her.
Okay. And so you having the kids at the age of, once again, it's kind of like you were ahead of the time, because I'm probably sure there wasn't a lot of people your age at the age of 16 with kids. So that's another experience. I'm saying that you were able to.
No, I was the first one. That had a kid.
Okay. So during this time of you having a kid that made you grind harder, which made you more vulnerable to the streets as far as going and killing things like that.
See, yeah, our generation was like different because, like I said, I had both sides of the family all right here in Oak Park. I migrated out, and then I started fucking with every hood. You know what I'm saying? And then all the clubs, like I said, I was in the clubs at 15, 16, Rancho Royal, all that stuff. Okay. I was already known already. And then by sports too, because I was super raw in sports. Baseball, basketball, and football. All-star, MVPs, I got all this shit.
Let's talk about that a little bit. How raw were you? Could you had went to the league raw? If you would have been focused more on your sports than the streets?
Sure. Yeah, because I ran track too. I did all that shit. And I went to Sac High, got expelled from Sac High, went to Burbank. I was on the football team, safety, tailback, kicker, punter, everything, at JV. I ended up going to the Marvin Mitchell and LeMay concert, and I got shot that day. And that's when I really went full-fledged. After that, when I took my lungs out, and I was toe up.
What age was that?
So my mom came and got me from UC Davis Hospital. Took me to the bay with her for a minute. But I ended up coming back.
Okay, and so what age was that?
16.
16?
No, 15.
Oh, 15? So at the age of 15, you were already off the block, had a car, been shot. Had you been incarcerated yet?
Yeah, Juvenile Hall.
Juvenile Hall, okay. So that experience, which is always the best teach, how did that help you from the age of 21 to, let's say, 25? And I'm trying to get a wide range of people can see this book.
No, see, one thing about me is my resume is vicious. I was really out there in the streets, man, really banging, not like the actors and funny people that make up shit. Motherfucker, no, I ain't got to make up nothing because everybody know what I was doing.
Correct.
I was putting in work like crazy.
Correct. And so at that age of the 20, let's say 21, where were you at the age of 21?
Off the chain, driving every old school, selling rocks and on the blocks, and just, we had a crew, just having the ball.
And so when was it that you did your first, as they say, your first long stretch in prison?
The federal ones. The federal ones.
What year was that?
Right, 2015.
So that stretch from 15, how long did you do?
I did 7.
Okay. And so during this stretch, is this the first time that we started the book? And let me ask you something. What does the title mean for those that don't know? Shout out to Uncle E40, man. We
messed they gonna hate.
Explain that to our viewers, and so they can get a better understanding of what they're gonna get out of this book, and we know for the general masses.
They gonna hate, man. Motherfuckers always hate, especially on the cliff, nigga. Niggas had all the bitches. We had all the bitches, man. All of them. So you know how that shit go.
That's a fact, huh?
People find a reason to hate.
Yeah, that's all. So, okay, let me ask you something that you said there. How did you keep yourself from falling victim, knowing that people sometimes have that hate in them, where you were able to overlook it? Because again, it's at a point now where you're like, you know what, I got more things to see. How were you able to kind of say, you know what, I know
I smile more than everybody, but nobody never know what my smile means.
Correct.
And everything's one out the other. I can hear a person hate me. I'm still gonna shake his hand. That's the type of person I am. I've always been like that. That's why they hate, because nothing bothers me, man. You know what I'm saying? It's always been haters. You know, I used to pimp and all this shit, 15, 16, 3 deep, all this shit. Stock Boulevard. Called Bobby T's, Clifford T's. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I
met. All that's in the book. You know.
Speaking of the book,
just like the feds, motherfucker hated all Cliff snitching. Okay, who's out here saying Clifford snitching? Nobody. Ain't nobody saying Clifford McDowell told on me.
Correct.
The nigga I went to jail with started that shit. He only did 2 years on a 10-year mandatory minimum. You know what I'm saying? And he sold to these people. But conspiracy, that's what happens. So, like I said, I still got my same friends, same homeboys, but you got the whisperers and the haters. They still gonna speak up. But niggas know the truth, though. I walk the main line. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody saying Clifford McDowell told me.
Well, your resume speaks for itself. That's for one. For two, I know this probably in the book, but you've been in prison with some of the biggest people that the entertainment, like Big Meech, people like that. And I've seen this, the solidarity between you two. And, to elaborate on a little bit of that, me having an interview with some of my BMF people, shout out to BMF Smooth, who I got an interview with, and my other BMF family. But that don't happen if your name ain't good. Your name ain't never had good. The people that hates on you are the people that's envy and jealous.
So I was there, my big homie, nigga, I looked up to Talton Robinson, Fourth Avenue, a real OG. He wouldn't have this shit if it was like that.
Correct.
You can't get saved in the federal prison. That's not like state prison. Some people get passed and get away. Feds, your paperwork got to be on point. You can't touch the TV. You can't sit at the table unless your shit is right. And you got
my cousin O Skrilla, little O from High Street. He just got home from the Fed.
You gotta have your shit right, or you can't sit at the table. Some niggas ain't even gonna talk to you till your shit right. They read codes and everything. Nigga, my shit was right. You know what I'm saying? Like a nigga got out of jail saying some shit, oh man, that shit don't exist, man. And the nigga knew that. Fake ass nigga, you know what I'm saying? And that was my homeboy. That I fucked with tough.
So in the book, and again, I just wanted to kind of introduce the book because I really want people to go get this book. So I'm gonna kind of go different places. I want to talk about what you're doing now that I think is key that go coexist with this book. Let's speak about how you're making a difference from where you came, and you kind of speak on the book on how you was in the streets and you did this, and now from you coming home.
Yeah, the book got a message at the end. We talk about stuff me talking about now at the end. It says what I'm doing. I'm a mentor, I'm a basketball coach, football coach, basketball coach.
Let's talk about the downtown thing. I like what you're doing, the club. Like, I want to talk more about that because people that's watching that, they can reach out to you and say, hey, big homie, you know what? I seen you on Entrepreneur Talk, man. And I'm one of those guys that's did that, and the other. And I may want to help, need your help to tell my story. But more important, how can I be down with you to make a change and walk these streets at night with you? Shout out to you, bro, Seth, everybody else.
Me and Seth, he from Meadowview, I'm from Upward. And then, my wife, Maddie, we got to all in together. Like I said, everybody I grew up with, I'm still cool with. I played baseball with, football with, went to NYSP with. Every hood in Sacramento, I went to either a camp with or played against them in football. So our generation is different than the new generation. So our generation, we still cool with everybody. The new generation, they beef with each other. Half of them grew up with each other.
That's it.
So all that's in the book too. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so let me ask you something. What is something that you're able to shed light on that you're doing as far as, and I want to keep highlighting this, you going out, putting your at the front lines at these clubs at night, to try to prevent things from happening with these youngsters that's doing this, and being that your name can go anywhere in Sacramento, which I know for a fact. I'm not speaking on you, I know this for a fact, but what is the things that you, Seth, wife, sis, what are y'all doing at these clubs? Are y'all there at the clubs just walking around?
I'm part of Hope too, and Save Sac too. So the homegirl put me on, and and it was a blessing. Give a shout out to her, Nikki. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like she saved you in a certain ways. You know what I'm saying? Because it keeps you busy, and it keeps you meeting good people. You steady going to meetings, steady going to different events, all that stuff. Like me and Mr. was doing the youth event, talking to youth. We did like 3 events talking to youth from like age 11 to 17, stuff like that.
Shout out to Mr. Great brother, man. Shout out to him also, man. I look forward to doing work with you guys also. Let me go ahead and say this episode is dedicated to Curdy. As y'all can see on the bottom, man, a lot of things we do need to be in homage of those that laid the way. Let's talk a little bit about Curdy and what he meant to you.
He meant the world to me, man. We was together since '86. We ain't never split up, since that day. When I go to prison, right there. We fight right there. Me and Curdy did everything up under the sun together. We never called each other best friends. We brothers. We brothers. We've been through everything together. Shootouts, fights, Royal Rumbles, everything.
What was his influence?
My son's name after Curdy. Little Clifford's middle name is Curdy.
Shout out to nephew. What was his inspiration to you in sports?
Everything. I was the first. You got to understand. I was the first one to coach out of everybody. I don't want one got Marcel's, the Lloyds, Curdy's, everybody. I was the first coach at 19. Wow. I coached with Melly Mel, Manny Fresh, Root Dog, Gaffler, and I think that was it.
And so, as y'all can see at the bottom where it's at, I had to give a shout out to the Sac Raiders, Curdy College Prep youth football team, the 12U, 14U. We did our thing last week against Berkeley. Y'all can see the score underneath.
You want water bottles?
Y'all make sure that y'all come check us out this weekend at Burbank. We play San Francisco Bombers. Y'all come check us out. We got something good going up there. Y'all got any kids that need to be in a program that disciplines as far as student athlete first? Sac Raiders, we revamped. And so I definitely wanted to give a shout out to you for being a big inspiration to me, and not only the sports, but in life, and that's big. So let's talk about this book. And are we going to see a documentary, or are we going to see a movie, a docu?
Yeah, the documentary come out in like a week. But then I got, I did 3 DVDs already with Jerry Graves, Pooey. The documentary, just talking like the same stuff, like, I'm a changed man. You know what I'm saying? Like it goes from in and out. Like right now, I'm talking. Sometimes you go backwards, but you always got to go forward when it's all said and done. It's not how you start; it's how you finish.
Correctly. And so with the documentary, what I think should be a great thing for you to do also, and we can do it on my network. I'll do it. I think you need to start a podcast based on the book. And I think that we can get youngsters to come on this podcast that's either incarcerated or not. A lot of these youngsters write a lot, and we can start helping them manufacture their dreams and ideas and bring it to light, not only by doing a podcast with them, but actually showing them the proper way on how to do a book, and kind of like a school where they subscribe to us and a monthly fee or something. But, the fee goes back to actually half on their books and half on the youth sports. So that's something I'm going to talk to you about, because, again, I also want to do the Youth Sports Center with me, you, Steph, and DJ DC, my co-host on All Facts Sports Network. Something that I got going also with my sports show. So that's something that we're going to have in the mix. As far as this book goes, I want you to give me the best part of the book for you.
The whole book. Because I'm gonna tell you why. Because me growing up, I dealt with every hood, like G Parkway, We had our own apartment there at 16. We used to call that Oak Parkway. We had a house full of Oak Park and a house full of G Parkway dudes. We got along perfect. You know, in there we had fights, shootouts, and all type of stuff. But like like Rob Booz and all them, and Nick Nolans, and
shout out to Rob Booz,
Calvin, and Junebug, and all them guys, Riffa, Rod, and Larry D'Angelo. See, I grew up with all them guys. Then Amar Boy, Charles Nee, all them guys. I had a connection.
Shout out to Amar Boy. Shout out to Nee, Charles.
I had a connection with all them when I was little. The same like with Metaview, Ken Dog, Pokey, Danny, Marv, Couch, all the guys. Shit, the list goes on. My brother J.R. Smack.
Shout out, hey, that's my big bro. Shout out to
J.R. I was always around all the older cats.
Hey, you know what's crazy? You say that. Shout out to you and how you are able to show these youngsters on how, if you solidified and know where you're from, you should be able to network and move however you move. And I see that about you. You mentioned Knee-Boy. Shout out to Knee-Boy. He was actually my second guest on Artist Talk when I first launched this, probably like 7 years ago. So shout out to Knee-Boy. But going back to this, what do you think your biggest, what is your biggest accomplishment as far as the start of the book, the finish, it being online or in the stores for sale? What was your biggest accomplishment or the biggest process for you? Like, man, I did it. Was it when you was writing because you had that vision, like, oh, I'm gonna do this and write this and put this there so everybody can read it? What was it?
You said my biggest comments about the book?
Yeah. Was it the finish of it?
Really just writing, because like I said, I wasn't educated like that. What I'm saying? I got expelled out of every school I've been to. I went to ECI. I went to ECI with all the other cats. My sister and them, she'd get mad at me. I went to school with her. I was only sixth grader in high school, in continuation school. So the change I'm doing now is my biggest influence. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I've always been me. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, like in Oak Park. I connect to everybody. The Murphys, the Collins, the gangsters. We all is one. You know what I'm saying? Like my dad, Jimmy, Jimmy Mack, So my biggest comment about the book is everybody, they're all in there. Like I said, it goes to G Parkway, it goes to Metaview, it goes to 29th Street. I dealt with Pep, Poogie Loke, and all them real tough, and Dirt, all them guys. Pac-Man, them was my real folks. Them my real, like Creek, KP, JJ, Big Snake, Little Snake, Kiki, all them guys. I really have relationships with these guys.
Kiki.
Like, real Pig, and all them. I really have. So everybody's a trip, like goddamn, Clip, everybody. Everywhere we go, you shaking hands with somebody. It's just how we grew up.
Pretty Kiki, man.
Because like I said, and like James Bell, I was married to Yashi Bell. She from the Creek, what I'm saying? So it's just that I grew up so quick. But when I get into it, people, knowing a lot of people saves you every time. That's why I don't understand why these youngsters do what they do, because I put that in the book too, because I got saved a lot of times. 29th Street had to save me and Curdy. Metaview had to save me and Curdy. Bam was real gangster. Him and E-Bone, they chased me like 12, 13. His mob, we was my little skylark. I was 12. I went to AMPM and all that more. Danny Polk and Dog, they was all up there. They chased me and Curry from Netwerk. You know what I'm saying? We was little. But like I said, like Detroit, all them guys, Gary, Danny, Leon Peoples, the Poles, everybody. So I really deal with all these people, man. Like for real. So I always had a gift. So I always was a gift. You know what I'm saying? Just real talk.
What can we do?
Everybody knew about Clifford and Curdy, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody.
So what can we do as far as the narrative goes now with the youngsters in?
It's hard. It's hard because, I'm not to cut you off, it's hard because all youngsters don't listen. But I got a lot of youngsters out here that still love Cliff, you know what I mean? That check on me, I check on them, and it's just nothing but love when I see them, because I always was a people's person. I never take sides, so I never grew up taking sides. We weren't taught like that. We fight right there, it's cool. Like now, back in our days, you can have a shootout, be cool in 2 weeks. Have a fight, be cool the next day. Nowadays, it's just war at sight, and it's over. And ours, we didn't have a Facebook, Instagram, like everything was on site with us. But like me knowing everybody, I say to a lot of people, like being in the Heights. I was in the Heights since the 90s, and the Heights was the Beefalo Park tough before our generation. I got out there with like the Deshaun's and the Les West Blades and Corey Sides and the Reddies and just everybody. Hebrews, I got a real relation. Let me be on their blocks. You know what I mean? All the Gustises and Mark and them, and they related to my god brother Leafield. You know what I'm saying? So Deshaun Leaville took me out there, and I ended up staying out there, and I had to fun like crazy. You know what I'm saying?
So, what would be? Let me ask you something. In the next, let's say, 2 years, where do you see this book being?
I know, like I said, people just got to read it, man, because if they see my life, a lot of people understand it. Like the up and comings, they need to read it. You know what I'm saying? But they can realize you cannot gangbang and try to make money, and that's where we was messing up at. You know what I'm saying? That's so I started migrating out the peaks. I was going every block out here. My peaks started going everywhere else. I started going to the heights, and that's where all the fun and all the money really was coming. When I first went out there, we had a few people tripping with me and shit, but the heights niggas loved me so much. You know, they didn't let their homies trip like they wanted to. You know,
Okay.
Like spiders and phalies and I really G bunnies. I really like out there. Fucking said all them guys. And I had a relationship where I can go out there by myself and chill wherever I brought was safe.
So you know what a suggestion I think, and this is me speaking as a manager, that I think we should do, and I would love to help, is I think we should do a high school tour with this book.
Huh?
I think we should do a high school tour with this book.
Yeah, I'm aware because, like I said, every hood's in there. Like I said, I fuck with all those creeks.
And reason why I say that, this book need to get to the youngsters before some of these youngsters. And there's nothing for us to sit up here and set up a tour and go to these different high schools, and also even using these different mom and pop shops and start setting up autograph signing and book signings, and actually being able to speak live on a podcast while doing a book signing to give these youngsters some game out of the book, to get them to inspire them to buy the book. And I think that's something like I'm seeing this vision right here. Even us setting up at our football practice, setting up a day where we can actually do book signing and actually explain to some of the 12 and 14-year-olds that we have and inviting others. I think this book could go a long way if we actually put the footwork in. Now that you have put the footwork in writing it, it's only right that me being in that field of a manager and marketing, I want to help you as far as I can. As far as
Look, so I'm gonna do a book release and all that.
Yeah.
Book release, book sign, all that. I'm just chilling right now, trying to see what it do. But like I said, it's gonna come.
Yeah, and again,
can't forget about my Valley High niggas. They accepted the nigga too back then. Madman, Jimmy B, Fathead, and all them guys. Toby Paradise. Like Toby picked me up to school. ATI when I was 6. So that's what I'm saying. I was always connected. Like, damn, this nigga Cliff everywhere, but I'm flamed up everywhere I go. No banging this piece shit. You know what I'm saying? I have my time with every hood out there.
So, what do you being a father, and I'm gonna ask you this candid question: what do you tell your kids? Because people will ask that. What do you tell your kids to keep them? And I know how you are, but those that aren't, what do you tell your kids to keep them from following the same footsteps as you?
Man, like I say every time, don't let your ego and pride get in the way. You can't worry about your friends. A real friend is not gonna get you in no trouble. They're gonna try to, they see you changing. They're gonna, help you change and keep you from around them. But there's nothing wrong with still fucking with your friends and kicking with your friends. But you got to make your own decisions, man. You got to mature and grow. See, it took me a minute to do that because I was a D-boy and always in the brawls and shit. But you got to grow, and then your friends will understand it. Like when I coach football, after I coach, everybody coach. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like ego and pride, man. You can't worry about what your friends think.
I can say I'm a product.
That's everybody's problem in life. They don't want to let nobody down, but they also worry about what a person thinks. Once you get older, man, and you're in your 30s and 40s, man, it's time to make changes, man. Especially if you got kids and shit. Like I had a gang of kids at a young age, but like now I know how to be a father. Back then I was going in and out of jail, drugs, trying to look fly and drive to all the old schools and stuff. And now that I look back, like damn, my kids needed me. I was there for them. Don't get it twisted, but they needed me. Like needed their father. Like, that's what my dad did. 17 years, and he was in and out of jail. I never regretted nothing he did because, still my father and I love him. Some people get attitudes, all this and that. No, I didn't get no attitudes. My dad, I love my dad to death. He ain't perfect, but hey, he always been in my life. And my mom always been in my life. All my family, both sides, like I told you. I came from.
Shout out to moms, man. I love mom, man. Shout out to mom for real. Like seriously. And I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna kind of transition and go off topic kind of. Do you know if they did, I call you the kind of the Nick Saban of youth sports as far as football go. Look at your tree of people that you put as far as coaches and stuff that come up under you. And I'm a product
of, shout out to Frog too. I forgot about Frog.
I'm a product of that.
He made him coach around. He came right after me too.
Right. I'm a product of your tree. So do you sit back and look and be like, damn, I have influenced a lot of people to go the right way though, as far as this coaching go, and as far as how you are influential in the coaching. You won, I want to say probably 9 or 10 championships at probably different levels. So you having that influence right there, and also being able to show people on how to do it the right way. What's next for Clifford? What's our next journey?
Being a mentor, like I'm trying to be a youth leader and a mentor. Like, that's my goal.
Okay.
I like dealing with the kids, man. You know what I'm saying? Because they're the ones that really is. Even some of the older kids, if you guide them to bring them along, they'll see the change. Like I did when I was going to all these different neighborhoods, and I told them, you guys so stuck right here. You got to get out this motherfucker, man. Like me and my guy, we used to go everywhere. Boom, boom, boom. Just that's how it was. But like I said, we was known, and we used to really get up out of here, like the Curtis, and like Raymond did, some time before in the fairs. I went to visit Raymond in the fairs when I was a kid, and I went to his basketball games and shit like that. Me and Curtis and Raymond, we call it, the three amigos. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we rock.
You know what, man? I love where we're going. I love where you're going, man. Like I said on Entrepreneur Talk, our job is to network so we can make sure everybody work. We have great intentions sometimes, but we have to be able to voice those intentions and things that we have for these youth to be able to pick up on. We will do a part 2 of this, Like I said, I look forward to actually producing a show for you to be able to get this out further. I want to shout out to because he's gonna get mad. Let me shout out to my Uncle Rico.
Of course. Rico came. I'm gonna start him bagging. You know what I'm saying? I brought like 7 people bag on him. Third degree, Desmond, Deshaun. I think Deshaun gave him the biggest challenge. But then a lot of people, Rico, he was undefeated.
Uncle Rico, but that's crazy. He been like that since he used to be in Berkeley. You feel me? My OGs, I'm from Funktown. My OGs used to mess with Berkeley. My family them knew Unc, so I grew up under Unc since a kid. And when I came to Sac, he used to get mad at me because I used to be back and forth from town. And me and Unc, one day he told me I was so heavy in the streets. This nigga said, "Man, you need to let your brain take a shit one time, man."
Yeah. Rico is no joke. See, he used to bag on being Steve, like, shout out Steve Austin, man. That was my right hand too, man. You would never see me without Steve Austin, ever. And we'd always be at Rico house, me, Steve, Stacks.
Right, that's what
I like. Nigga, all of us over there. Rico had the house of the Zillas, JR, my brother. He's have a real Zilla house.
T-Weezy. Shout out to
definitely T-Weezy.
That's why I met you. We used to be on Fruit Ridge. We used to be on Fruit Ridge by Taco Bell at T-Weezy's little spot.
Me and T-Weezy got kind of a lot of the same story because we traveled through the hoods like that. Everybody loved T-Weezy. And like EJ between us two. I was like his best friend. And like, so when I got out of jail, when I did my first prison bed, Curdy, Raymond, Jar, they took care of me. But my baby mom was Bridget, and then my sister and everybody. When I did my first prison, when I got out, EJ was the first person to give me something. Crip EJ.
Let me tell you something, man.
And when I got out this time, he gave me some money again. But like I said, when I give it up to Mario Rios too, between us three, like I said, like I got a bond with all these dudes, man. It's so real.
Man, let me say
something. Keep Power one taught me the game too. They taught me how to make extra money on the game. You know what I'm saying? Some people stingy with, like Gino, my partner Gino, bro. He put me on real good. So I was blessed to be Clifford. Like, who you with gave me the name Sweater. You know what I'm saying? That's how much I get around you. But like I said, I had all the big homies, man, in my corner, man. All of them. Good.
That's what made you who you are. I want to give you a rose before we get up out of here, man. You're somebody that I look up to. You're probably about the only person that can call me and be like, Keith, let it go. Or Keith, because again, the respect I got for you is somebody that is a big brother that I've seen and that's helped me. And like I said, from the first time that I met you, I want to say this was 2006 when I was at with T Weez and my brother Rio. Rest in peace. From you being an influential person that I look up to, sports, life, being a father, you're a person that I just want to give your roses to and tell you thank you, my big bro, because of being inspiration to those that pay attention.
Another thing, one thing I tell everybody, man, like I said, nigga, every friend I got, I still got him to this day. You know what I mean? I'm a real loyal friend.
Flat out.
Blank.
Period. Hey, with that being said, man, hey, you guys, this is Entrepreneur Talk. Hey, again, where we talk, we network so everybody can work. We got new author, Bliff, The Gift, somebody that I need you guys to please go to Amazon. Hey, let's get this book on the New York sellers best top 10 at #1. Again, it's somebody that come from where we come from, the trenches, somebody that's been through the fire, got out of the fire, was in the rain, and now is in the sun. Somebody that is actually helping these kids get to where they need to go. Somebody that influenced me to start the Curry Prep College program, where we actually mentor these kids, Zoom meetings. We do resume building. We do mental check-in. And I got it all off Curry, somebody that his big bro that he told me having conversations about that it inspired me and wanted me to do better. So with that being said, you guys, hey, we have part 2 of this. Please like and subscribe. Make sure y'all become a part of the Entrepreneur Talk family. And with that being said, I got an idea that my sponsors just hit me and said. So this is what we're going to do. For those that go purchase the book, I believe the book is $25. If y'all send Bliff the receipt to his inbox or send our receipt to our inbox at Artist Talk on Instagram, y'all send us the receipt. Here's the deal. You have to be subscribed to our YouTube channel. You have to be following him on all his social media platforms. Also, DJ DC. If you guys do that, send us the receipt. We're going to pick 3 people.
Shout out to my nigga, man, Kevin McLean. You know him. I'm not to cut you off, but you know, them niggas types of good niggas, man. Niggas hold me in jail, send me pictures, money, everything.
That's the code. Hold on. Shout out to Kev, because again, Kev is a part of my other network. He's actually a co-host on All Facts Sports. That we're about the football part. So Kev is a great guy. I'm actually gonna be doing him on Entrepreneur Talk. So shout out to Kev McLean. Great.
JD Bud, Coleman, all you guys, man. Shout out.
Yes.
You know,
and so again,
Sacramento, shout out.
As my sponsor said, they want to give some money away. So what we're going to do, if you purchase the book, send us the receipt. You're following Blifford. You following me on my page, which is BIGUMG. You're following our YouTube page. Like and subscribe. We will send you a $25 cash app. We will also send you a shirt. We will put you in a drawing for a chance to host part 2 with us and actually do the whole interview and Bliff the Gift. However, you have to then read the book because we're going to ask you questions, because if you're going to interview him, you have to be right about it. With that being said, I need everybody again to go to Amazon, purchase the book. We're giving money away. Again, I just got a text from the liquor locker in Roseville telling us, look, we want to give some money out. We need everybody to purchase this book. Reason being, we're trying to get this on a bestseller. If I can get somebody that I actually know physically on the bestseller, that means the people that follow us, you guys know them too. With that being said, I'm BIGUMG, the host of Entrepreneur Talk. Shout out to my co-host who's actually on the road. I got to give my condolence to Street Knowledge. Rest in peace. My cousin, who's my blood cousin, who's his cousin, actually is with Street Knowledge mom, getting everything together. Rest in peace, Street Knowledge. Rest in peace, Curdy. I got a birthday coming up in about 48 hours. So with that being said, you guys, hey, I love everybody that's following us. I make sure y'all go get that book, man. Hey.
Appreciate you, bro.
Hey, I love you, big bro. I see you at practice tomorrow, man.
All right. Shout out to Cameron, man. You know, you looked out for me the whole time there in Pee Wee, man. Love y'all, boy.
All right. Hey, hold on. Shout out to my brother Pee Wee, man. Niner, you know how we do it, Pee Wee, man. Shout out to Upgrade Barbershop, original sponsor. Marcus, I love you to death. You believed in me before nobody. Mr. Fab, also a big inspiration, a mentor to me. Shout out to Fab. Before I go, hey, y'all from Oakland, I'm going to give y'all some game real quick, and this is how I survived in Sacramento. Fab told me a long time ago, I was with my big brother, K. Jeter. Shout out to Jeter.
Definitely shout out to Jeter.
I love that. That's my brother.
Jeter, Melly Mel.
Right, good fella records. But he told me one thing, we was in Oakland, and he said to me, and I never forget this, don't get caught up in them Sacramento politics. You from Oakland. Remember that. Respect where you at. And from that day forward, I never got caught up. Shout out to my little blood, my blood brother, Selly Bo. He from the other side, but I got family everywhere. And with that being said, y'all make sure y'all come to Sacramento and check in with Big Bliff, man. I love my big brother. Shout out to Curdy, man. Hey, we love you. Again, we got something special coming up, and I want everybody to go get that book. With that being said, shout out to my nephew, also Lil King, man. Big bro, I love you, and I'll talk to you in a minute, man.
All good.